we're here on this Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to bring you all another segment of this glorious podcast.
Mm-hmm. 1 month in.
1 month in.
1 month in.
Let me just say thank you to everyone who has joined us on this journey so far. And let's get right into it.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Mr. Non-Clutch. My co-host here, my best friend, Matt Murphy. Thank you all for coming on this glorious...
Also known as Murph Dog.
Yes. All right, folks. The World Baseball Classic starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
But spring training has been going for a little bit already.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. It's a couple weeks now.
So, some rookies are making a name for themselves here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Obviously, we're going to end up talking about mostly New York here, right? Because this is how that's where we're closely watching the rookie debuts and battles. But, for the Yankees, I got to say, Volpe is really showing that he's a guy. He is,
He's close. He's definitely close to being the guy for the Yankees now, which is great.
I definitely think that they're going to end up keeping him in AAA, playing with his years. I think they're going to keep him in AAA, call him up, very, very late in the season, if anything, this year. Maybe for September call-ups. But another one is, Oswaldo Peraza, and, he's battling for the shortstop position this season with IKF.
Mm-hmm.
And IKF really doesn't look hot. It really doesn't look the best.
No.
But I would be okay with him playing third over Donaldson. That's all I could say on that situation. But Peraza has been showing that he could at least maintain a decent average. He's maintaining a decent on-base percentage, which is good, and he's playing great defense. So that's all we could ever ask for. And what rookies on the Mets are we really looking at here?
I mean, one that was we were talking about it just before we started, man. Yeah. Ronnie Mauricio and Brett Beatty, the two guys who are hopefully at some point going to be able to crack the roster and play wherever they need to play for the New York Mets, because they're at shortstop and third, and that left side coming up is big. Mauricio has been having just a great spring so far, and so is Brett Beatty. But more so of Mauricio just being able to get on base of almost pretty much every at-bat he's had. Like, it's crazy. And just sending out moonshots. Brett Beatty, we know he had his first at-bat be a moonshot himself. Literally the first at-bat of spring. So that's good for him. But it's interesting to go about it throughout the season to see what happens, because especially with now Lindor being our shortstop, staying there, we have him for 9 more years. And then third base is a little bit open because we still have Eduardo Escobar and McNeil going in and out of there. But I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll end up probably putting Mauricio in the outfield. Maybe even have Beatty in the outfield.
Well, Beatty
playing
can
left
play
or center.
Left,
Beatty can play some left. I heard that he had time to play left there, and we also have been talking about maybe trying to give Mauricio some time in the outfield as well, to be able to have him play, more positions.
If
to be able to fill in the lineup.
Mauricio can really crack the, major league roster, even if it's a bench spot and a utility guy, I think it's going to be really good. But you have, your entire team is stacked. The third base position is probably like the only question mark on your roster right now.
And catching.
And catching, I would say that. But as of right now, would you agree that it's looking like Nito and Omar Narvaez?
It's going to be Omar Narvaez.
Being the two guys.
It's going to be Omar and Nito. That's what I would do. I would put Alvarez in AAA to start. Yeah. Let him play half the season there, and who knows? Maybe one of the guys will go down. Hopefully, for their sake, they don't.
Yeah.
But and hopefully they tear it up. Because that'd be absolutely great. Narvaez, I don't really know much about him. I know he played for Milwaukee. He didn't really make much of a huge
he didn't make a huge noise.
Yeah, huge noise throughout his career so far. So I'm interested to see. Who knows? Maybe a new environment in New York will be good for him. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. But as want to bounce to the World Baseball Classic there. First game is, I believe, tomorrow night.
Yeah, I believe sometime.
Isn't it I believe it's around 11 o'clock.
Honestly,
PM.
It might be like tonight.
It might be tonight.
Like in the morning. Because they're playing, I believe, in the Pacific right now. They're going to start out playing in the Pacific. I'm going to check now.
Well, as he searches that here for a minute, you talked about Lindor earlier. Lindor just been named the captain for the Puerto Rican team in the World Baseball Classic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to see, Lindor, the leadership is there.
Yeah,
it's great to see because if they respect him like that, obviously the MLB Mets respect him like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is great to see because he's going to be there for a long time, and he is, pardon my French, he's fucking good.
He's just so well liked around the league and such a big, just supporter of his teammates, and he really, he really has fathered in a lot of the rookies coming up as well. So expect some good things to happen for that team in Puerto Rico with him as captain. And tomorrow night at 11 p.m. is going to be Cuba against Netherlands.
Cuba against the Netherlands.
But then it all really starts on Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. Panama is going to play Chinese Taipei.
Okay.
And then at 10 p.m. we got Australia against South Korea. And then 11 p.m. we got Panama again against Netherlands.
Oh, okay.
So that's how this World Baseball Classic is going to get started. And I can't wait to watch some baseball. Spring training's cool, but...
Spring training's nice because you get to see, it's normally high scoring because it's, a lot of good hitters against, some really trying pitchers.
Yep.
And you get a lot of runs scored, which is nice to see, but it's going to be nice to watch competitive baseball again.
Yeah.
It's going to be playoff atmosphere every game. Mm-hmm. And it's really going to be great to watch. But, also to shift here, hockey had a pretty exciting week.
Yeah, dude. Their trade deadline has finally come to an end. It was a few days ago. A whole month's worth of trades were just absolutely bonkers, and especially for the last few days of the trade deadline. And now switching gears into the ice rink arenas of hockey land. Some big trades. Yes, and we're going to say the biggest ones of our favorite, our New York teams last. We're going to save some for last. There is one that I'm going to put in there pretty early just because it seems to me overlooked. It's a good trade. I actually like it. But we'll go down the list. I made a list of some of the more well-known names of the league that were traded. And number one was Ryan O'Reilly to Toronto from St. Louis, which is crazy because they all thought that he was going to finish his career there, especially after winning the Stanley Cup. He decided to play another season and try to win the Cup again, and now he's gone to Toronto.
Sayonara.
Next one, which is a trade by the New York Rangers, they acquired Tyler Mott, the former Tampa Bay Lightning, who has just been a big staple for the Tampa Bay Lightning, now a New York Ranger. So
crazy.
You got the veterancy now with Tyler Mott on the team. He's not as superstar status as he used to be, but it's still good. I still like that.
It's a very good trade.
I still like acquiring him and a good winger. Nito Niederreiter to the Winnipeg Jets. Very interesting there. And then Evgeny Dadonov to the Dallas Stars. The Canadians said, well, we don't really need you. Let's get another prospect in there. And Dallas says, yeah, we'll take a sniper. And then the next one, which it's a great trade for New Jersey, but I also hate it because New Jersey got him, is Timo Meier from the San Jose Sharks. He is one of the most underrated goal scorers in the league. He can score a lot, and he can move the puck around a ton, and now he's on the Devils of New Jersey. By the way, the Devils are good. They're good. They've won 40-plus games this year so far. They've only lost 15 in regulation. They're scary. I hate that we're in the Metropolitan Division, but hey, that's what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do. Jesse Puljujärvi to Carolina from Edmonton. That's a good trade. Another one into the Metropolitan Division again. Just crazy stuff in the Metro. But then you got into the Central Division. Marcus Johansson in Minnesota. That's not the only Minnesota acquirement we're going to get to. Minnesota did get some really 3 key big guys. Yes. And I'd say that they were probably the most, besides the Rangers, probably the second most successful in the trade deadline. And that's coming up. Matthias Ekholm to Edmonton for Tyson Barrie. That's like the biggest one-for-one trade right there. You got 2 good goal scorers there. One Edmonton Nashville staple in Ekholm, because I don't think he had played at any other team. He's pretty much been a Nashville Predator his whole NHL career. And then you got Tyson Barrie, who I'm pretty sure was Edmonton his whole career. That's just a big trade right there. Gustav Nyquist to Minnesota, another Minnesota trade right there. And then one of the biggest surprises was Jonathan Quick being traded to the Vegas Golden Knights. His teammates were not happy about that.
No, they were not. They were vocal about it.
Drew Doughty and Andre Kopitar were like in one press conference. They were asked about it, and they were not happy about that. They were absolutely not, and I'm pretty sure you saw that on social media out there. They just, I mean, it sucks because Quick has been such a big staple for the Kings. Throughout his career, he won a cup with them, a couple of cups with them. So it's very very odd to see Jonathan Quick in another uniform, if I do say so myself.
It's gonna be odd.
Mm-hmm. And then I believe this is Carolina's last big trade that they made. They got Shane Gostisbehere, which is a good pickup as well. Boston getting better and getting Tyler Bertuzzi. Not like a big superstar by any means. He's going to be like a third line, fourth line, or rougher guy. But I'd still say that a nice pickup for them to kind of like maybe wrap up their third and fourth line. Yeah. So I say that's a pretty nice move,
not a bad move.
As well. And then Michael Granlund. He goes to Pittsburgh. Nick Bjorkstad to Edmonton. Max Domi, the former Montreal Canadian, goes to Dallas. He plays with Evgeny Dadonov down there. And then a big surprise to me that Dallas would actually get rid of him is John Klingberg, one of the better defensemen in the league. He has slowed down a little bit, obviously being overshadowed by what's his name on the Colorado Avalanche. It escapes me. Kamar. I forget. Oh my god, how to forget his name? He's like the best he's the best defender in hockey. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he's the best defender in hockey. But the Minnesota Wild, to wrap up their 3 big key acquisitions, they get John Klingberg in defense. So they have him. They also had gotten, if I go down the list, Marcus Johansson and Gustav Nyquist. I'd say that those are 3 big guys that they got, and that is absolutely insane for them to be able to get those guys. So watch out for Minnesota in these playoffs.
But really, we come down to the New York teams here.
Mm-hmm. We do have one more mentioning Nick Ritchie to Calgary. That was an interesting trade that Calgary made to get Nick Ritchie. I believe he was a former Boston Bruin, and I added him in there. And then rounding up our list, last but certainly not least, one of the first, probably the first trade of like the deadline stretch was Bo Horvat to the Islanders. We had talked about that on the first show. Vladimir Tarasenko on the New York Rangers, and his new line mate in Patrick Kane to the New York Rangers. That first, oh my god, and Artemi Panarin, freaking Zibanejad, Chris Kreider, Vladimir Tarasenko, and now Patrick Kane.
God. They
better blow up. They better absolutely blow everybody out of the water, man. They got such good names on paper, but
it's what's scary though is there's another team about 3 hours away that is lighting it up.
I mean, they're the scariest team in the league by far. And I mean, like,
nobody wants to play them.
And nobody wants to play them.
And they made what 1-2 minor moves at the deadline.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we're talking about the Boston Bruins being the best team in hockey by far, record-wise. They are literally one win away tonight. Or tomorrow, they play Edmonton tomorrow, from winning win number 50 before they get to even 10 losses. They only have 8 losses. They're 49-8.
Golly.
49-8.
Golly.
My God, man. Like, it's unheard of. And literally breaking records. They got to 100 points before the month of March.
Yep.
Like, it just absolutely... It's insane. But then you will go and ask a Bruins fan, like my brother, who is a Bruins fan, and you ask them, how do you feel about this? And, him being the typical, like, I've seen this somewhere before, kind of like Met fan.
Yeah.
He kind of correlates that to being with the Bruins, that they could falter. And they can. I mean, realistically, if... like, just their goaltending will be the one to kill. If anybody's going to be able to beat them, because their offense is just so good, you have to score more than 3 goals against them in a game. You have to. Yeah. It is what it is. You have to get more 3+ goals. 1 or 2 is not going to cut it. It's not because their goaltender is good enough to keep you down below 2. But right?
Their production on offense
is just immaculate.
It's almost never endless.
It's never endless.
It's like they could put something on you. They could work something within a minute and a half and put it in the back of the net. It's ridiculous.
Exactly, man.
It really is. But I gotta ask: Do you think they could be stopped? And if they could, who would be the team?
Now I know that we would like to say that the Rangers would be, the team to do it. For them, I'd say that they're kind of like in the same boat as the Bruins on what I mentioned it before, is the goaltending.
Yep.
Because for the Rangers side, it's Igor Shesterkin not having his best season. He's got like a 2.67 goals against average and a save percentage of .909. I checked earlier today. That's not the best. That's not what Shesterkin has put up in the past. So he is showing that he is human. But you do have a guy like their backup, Yaroslav Halak, behind him. Doing a pretty good job as his backup, and they've been going back and forth lately, and he's just been able to pick his other netminder up. So I would say that for the Rangers, that would be their downfall. They don't score as much as the Bruins, though. That's the only other thing that I could think of that maybe not, because the Bruins just put so many goals on net, and to think about the Bruins, I'm just going to look up to see who their backup netminder is. Their Jeremy Swayman is their backup, and he has played in 23 games this year. He's 16-4. His goals against is .227 and a save percentage of .918. That's still pretty good.
Wow. So they both have 4 losses.
They both have 4 losses. Wow. Yes, 16-4 and 32-4. 32-4. It's insane. And his goals against average of Linus Ullmark, who has just rejuvenated himself. Mind you, he played for the Buffalo Sabres before this, and I believe Vancouver was not as good. Not nearly as good. A 1.89 goals against average and a save percentage of almost .940. That's fantastic.
That is wild.
It's wild, and surprisingly only 2 shutouts on the year. But he has only 6 shutouts in his entire career, if you think about it. And he's brought his goals against average career-wise down to a 250.
Shut out teams in order to win.
Yeah, but I'm just pointing that out. But I would say if they're able to, try to put pressure on the goalie for the Bruins as much as they can to keep the puck in the offensive zone, that's what's going to beat them. Because they'll get more opportunities to score and they'll get more shots on net, because the Bruins, and they've been this way for the past decade, they will put more shots on the net than you will. And they've always done, they will put 40+ shots every single game. You'll see it. You'll literally look, and you'll see that your team had 16.
Yeah.
20, less than 20 shots to 40. That's how you'll have to beat them. You'll have to pressure their goalie and have to bring it into the offensive zone and just put the puck on the net and see what happens.
So maybe a team like Minnesota?
A team like Minnesota, if they end up playing them in the postseason, possibly. I believe, I just want to look to see who else is raging it in the
just
West.
Off the top of my head, maybe the Wild, you have the Avalanche, they're still there.
Yeah, Dallas Stars are doing pretty good this year, and Minnesota is starting to climb up too. Colorado is a third place team in the Central Division, but then you got Vegas. Yeah. Can't forget about Vegas too. They're still really good, and especially now with Jonathan Quick being their backup with I forget who's the main goalie for the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't think it's Marc-Andre Fleury still, isn't it?
I do not believe so.
I don't think it is. He's done. It has to be somebody else. I'm just gonna look before I look like an idiot in front of everybody. There's a big fat ad in front of this thing that I can't literally. Jesus. Oh man, NHL, you have enough money. You don't need these ads. So right. Logan Thompson is their goalie. They do have Aiden Hill as well, but I believe Logan Thompson has been their number 1 guy, and he has. He's played in 35 starts this year, a 20-13 record. So he's doing pretty good himself. Not too shabby. Almost the same as like Shesterkin, but a little better than Shesterkin. So with that 1-2 punch now with him and Jonathan Quick, that's going to be tough to go about. And then you got guys like Jack Eichel, scoring it up a storm. William Karlsson, Jonathan Marchessault, Nicholas Waugh, all those guys, Mark Stone. They're going to be a team to look at throughout the playoffs. I absolutely think that they are going to be going far in that Western Conference. They could be the front runner and take it. But also the Kings are good too. Even losing Jonathan Quick, they still have a good freaking team. Yeah. They still do. Didn't really make much of a splash in the trade deadline though, besides getting rid of Quick. I don't remember what they got in return. But they're still in second place in that Pacific Division. And then you got Edmonton and Winnipeg being in the 1-2 spot in the wild card.
I mean, Edmonton can win at any time as long as McDavid's on the ice. So.
I know. And Draisaitl. As long as those two guys stay healthy and really their goaltenders kind of help them out, they can still be pretty good. A little bit of a loss for them, though, getting rid of Pulley Harvey. But Carolina, I mean, they're another great team, too. They got 90 points on the season so far. And Boston being with 103, I mean, they got 13 less points. But if you take Boston out of the equation, 41-12-8 is not a bad record. And same thing with New Jersey. They're 41-15-6. Wow. They're 88 points, 2 points behind Carolina. And then you got the New York Rangers, who are 9 points below the Devils. So the Hurricanes and Devils, unless they absolutely fold, they ain't going anywhere. They're going to be the number 1 and 2 of the Metropolitan Division. And realistically, the third place spot could be up for grabs, at least if the Islanders can start winning. They're still in that number 1 spot on the wild card, and then Pittsburgh still right behind them, and then you can't cancel out Buffalo and Ottawa either.
No, you cannot. Well, that's some good talk right there. Mm-hmm. Hockey went nuts this past week.
It did, deservingly so. It's one of the craziest deadlines in all of sports.
Yeah, and it's very late in their season. As now, season ends just about a month. So, look forward to some playoff hockey soon.
Yep.
Stretching over to the NFL, Combine has finished, and the top players in the draft really showed why they are the top players. All the quarterbacks, really shined out. I would really say out of the 4 main guys that everyone talks about at QB, I would say Will Levis, he fell on the other downside, I would say. But C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson blew up this week. He had a absurd week. And, these guys are showing why they're meant to be in the NFL. And why they're meant to be, any one of those 3 quarterbacks I said could go for the first overall pick.
It's so cool to see because you just see so much talent and just so many guys that are just absolutely insane on the football field, and knowing that they're going to be, rookies next year. Yeah. It's exciting. I can absolutely get behind that.
Yeah. So, I mean, now this is just my opinion. I do believe after watching the Combine and watching his highlights from this Combine, C.J. Stroud is the best player in the draft. I don't understand how a team can not go up and this is going to be coming from me as a Colts fan, that is the guy that they should go and trade up for. Give up a couple picks, go up and go get the guy because you'll have the guy for minimum 5 years at that point. So it's almost like a no-brainer. He was the most accurate passer in college football last year. And he ended up bringing his team to within a winning field goal of going to the national championship game. All down to the kicker, who shanked it left. But, he could have been in the national championship. He could have taken down Georgia, who won the national championship. So, as a Colt fan, I believe that C.J. Stroud is the guy they should go up and go get. If not, they should wait where they are, wait at the 4th pick, and just see if Stroud falls. I doubt he will, but if Richardson is there, take him. I think he provides so much of his talent can boost his potential so well. I think it's worth taking a flyer shot on him. Yeah. Right, and seeing what he could do because he's so athletic. Did you see the video of him doing it in between the legs, slam dunk?
Yeah.
Like, he is athletic. He doesn't read defenses very well, as he did have a semi-decently high interception rate. But he really didn't have many receivers down there, so I would be interested to see what he'd be able to do in the NFL. I think the talent's there, but he would need to be coached on that end, But
by the way, I did see a post on Instagram. Who's the one that dropped that dime of a pass down the field?
I have no idea, but
it was a dime by the quarterback. I forget who it was.
There was multiple passes by C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson that I saw that they were put 60 yards just in the air.
Like, he was at, like, the 30, and he got it to, like, the 10.
They would just drop it, or it would be just a little far, or it would bobble in their hands.
I saw, like, a caption. It was, like, terrible time to drop that pass, buddy. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, really. Because it's not, and I had watched Pat McAfee's show today, and they had ended up talking about the quarterbacks and the receivers, running the routes. A lot of the, receivers were not, they had cones set up where where the NFL Combine wanted them to run, right? Run this route. Get to the cone, make it to the next one, right? And lots of these guys would cut it way before you even got to the cone. So, timing was off on a lot of passes, for quarterbacks, but the one who consistently made it work was C.J. Stroud.
Yep.
So, he is that guy. Now, some other quarterback news in the NFL. We had Geno Smith recently sign a 3-year deal, $150 million to Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, he's returning to Seattle, and this was literally like a half hour ago, or just before we went live, I think, or at least like during the time when we were setting everything up before we actually kicked everything off.
I tell you what, I think it was the smartest decision that they've made. Bring him back. He proved himself. He got him to the playoffs. And with a little bit more talent on that team, they really can go somewhere. He proved himself. He really had. He was comeback player of the year. Yeah,
and like getting more guys along like Metcalf and all of them, like they can really be a pretty damn good team going forward.
DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, who are both number 1 wide receivers in my opinion.
If they can get one more, like just one more piece like that, close to that.
They need some offensive line help, but they need defensive help.
Yes. They do need to keep the points down.
Yeah.
Because that was their downfall. They gave away too many points last year.
Yes. And then also, news coming this morning that Derek Carr signed with the Saints a 4-year deal, $150 million, and $100 million is guaranteed. Now, I tell you what, it'll be exciting to see what they can do down there with Derek Carr, but I still think that, it's funny. The way that everyone looked at the Raiders last year, everyone thought that they were going to be really good.
Yeah.
And I think most analysts might think the same thing of New Orleans this year because they have a quarterback this year. Like, they actually have a quarterback they can rely on.
Yeah, instead of just switching out, what's his name? Tyson?
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston and Tyson
Hill.
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill, I'm sorry.
Taysom Hill.
But I feel like a lot of analysts are going to look at this team and go, they could do something, but it really reminds me of the Raiders of this year. They had some pieces, but their defense was really bad.
Yeah, I mean, let's just hope for their sake.
And then Derek Carr, at the end, in the fourth quarter, it's like he dies.
Yeah, he's a first half quarterback for sure, and then he just can't he can't keep it level, can't keep it at the same pace as he does in the first half and the second half, especially like you said, that fourth quarter, he just doesn't show up. So that's going to be something that he's going to have to adjust during the offseason and into the new season.
So, some other NFL news. Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter both said that they expect Rodgers to either get a trade to the New York Jets or retire. As a Packer fan, how do you feel about that?
So, I mean...
Now, it's coming from...
It's coming from other sources that,
it's not coming from Rodgers.
Not coming from Rodgers, or they're not Packers fans, right?
No, they're not Packers fans. fans.
Yeah, no, they're not by any means.
Just reporters.
Just reporters reporting on it, saying that Rodgers will be either traded to the Jets or just straight up end his career. I pretty much am on the boat where I'm seeing this coming. I'm totally expecting Rodgers not to be a Packer next year. It's inevitable. I am obviously, it's an end of an era. It's very upsetting in a way, but I will say that I'm kind of starting to realize that Jordan Love is gonna probably end up being our guy. He's gonna have to be our guy. And hopefully he'll end up like Rodgers did behind Brett Favre. Him not being able to be on the field as much just because of the the veterancy of Favre and him being the ace of the team and bringing that team to success, or at least close to success every single season. So it's going to be.
Now I want to ask you, is Jordan Love, from what you've seen him play, which hasn't been many games,
no.
right? But from what you've seen against the teams that he's played, is he the guy to continue leading this franchise forward?
Just remembering how Aaron Rodgers came to be with the Packers, and the same basically amount of time that he played is what Love has played. And, even in his last game that he played, the meaningless, like third quarter and fourth quarter that he ended up playing at the end of the year, he still looked pretty solid. I think as long as he'll end up getting more and more playing time, it might be slow. He might not be good to start out the season. We might be like looking to be like a 2-4 team to start maybe. Mm-hmm. But I think with the more playing time and the more field time that he'll get, he could ramp it up.
So, I mean, if you were the Packers GM, what would you do at the quarterback situation? There's a bunch of things you could do. Now, both of the two top quarterbacks, in my opinion, on free agency this year have both been signed now.
Yeah.
So, what would you do at the quarterback position?
I mean, at this point, with Love being our number one guy, he's I just think that Love's going to be our number one guy this year. And then, with the draft coming up, we could pick up another guy. I believe we have a third stringer on our team. I forget his name. But I don't know if we're going to run with him to be our backup. We could end up looking to see what we can do in the draft, because if we end up trading Rodgers and get a good, a round pick, first round pick from the Jets for Rodgers, and even multiple others as well for this draft or even the coming drafts, we could actually fill in a pretty good spot. Yeah, so it would be interesting to see that actually come to fruition if Rodgers decides to play again. And like I said, I don't think he's going to be a Packer. I really don't think so.
Yeah, and the Jets have the 13th pick in the draft, and you have the 15th. Now, Carolina might be a team. Tennessee might be a team. Vegas said that they were not going to pursue Aaron Rodgers, but I'd be interested to see if they actually would. But, I'm pretty sure that, the top teams, Houston, Indianapolis, and I believe Vegas as well, will probably end up drafting rookie quarterbacks from the draft.
Yeah, like the top rookie quarterbacks of this draft.
Yeah, and then I would say that either Atlanta or Carolina will end up drafting the other quarterback if a team doesn't trade up for that. Now, if you would trade Rodgers, you get multiple first-round picks, correct? You would probably get, 2? And then 3 seconds?
Yeah.
For the next 3 years?
I would expect that.
So, I feel like I would be okay with making a trade like that.
At this point, like I am okay with it, because I know that Rodgers just doesn't have it in Green Bay anymore. And I've noticed it between like the chemistry between him and his teammates were good, but not really good towards the staff. Him and LaFleur were starting to get a little bit of a connection later. With their tenure together, and obviously they've been doing very well winning wise, especially at the second half of the season, because they both kind of like are rocky at the beginning, and then they start to ramp it up at the second half. But I still believe that there may be a better connection with Love and LaFleur.
He's young. I feel like he'd be more willing to accept because he's finally getting the shot.
Exactly.
He'd be more willing to learn.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So that's how I feel about it.
Well, that's that. I mean, I'm expecting, pro days will be coming soon, where they're going to be actually at their college. It's going to be going on through the month of March. I believe the last couple days of March, like the 27th and 28th, is when it's going to end. Mm-hmm. And then in April, we're going to have the NFL draft. So very, very exciting. April's going to be an exciting month because NBA will be winding down.
NHL will be winding down. The draft will be starting, and MLB will be starting.
Yes, it's going to be a very exciting month for the world of sports.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we've reached our lovely segment. It's become one of my favorite things to do on this Monday night. Welcome to Ashley's Outrageously Random Questions, folks.
Mm-hmm.
It's random.
It's random. It is completely random.
It's so random.
Absolutely. This is our third week of doing this, right?
This is our third week of doing this.
It's our third week of doing this.
Once again, we did last week. We ended up doing something new. We ended up saving one question and bringing it out to the audience and opening it for your opinion. So this is going to be the time that we want to hear some of your opinions in chat. Mm-hmm. As this little piece of paper right here is your question. Mm. And we'll get to that at the end. Yeah. But I believe that I went first last week, so, my friend, question number 1.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me either way. If you're new to it, let me explain. We get 10 questions, 5 each. I got 5, he's got 5. We go back and forth. Like tonight, I will start. We'll ask the question. We'll answer it. Then we'll go to AP. He'll pick one out, say the question, and then we'll answer it, so on and so forth, until we got nothing left. And then we go to that special 11th question for you, the audience at home, to give your answers in the comments of the chat. Or if you're watching this recording later on in the future, please leave your answer in the comments below. We really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Let us know.
We now have a follow/subscription notification alert.
It should be working. It should be. It's set up and it should be working. It's different because I've never really used Streamlabs for YouTube. So hopefully it does end up working. If you are a subscriber, you'll be able to see it at the top of our screen.
It'll basically be placed right about here.
Pretty much, yeah. Like right there.
Right here.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah. All right.
Something I, again, wish that I had remembered to do when we first started. But hey, listen, it was trial and error for the first start. We're starting to get used to it now. And hopefully every show we get upgraded.
Yeah, hopefully we're able to make this better and better and better as shows go on.
And more fluent and just
absolutely
nice.
Yeah, as the longer we go on, the more and more, comfortable we'll get, doing these things. So
anyway,
stick around.
Yeah. First question of the night of Ashley's outrageously outrageous questions. What is your favorite position in baseball? Our first sport random question of the night. What is your favorite position to play in baseball? And I guess we could order it. Should we do it 2 ways? Should we do what position we like to play and which position we just overall like?
I feel like we should do which position that we like to play the most. And then I feel like we should do one that we've always really kind of wanted to play, but just never really got to.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I think myself, my favorite position to play was probably shortstop. I felt like that was the place that I'd be doing the most on the field. A lot of movement, and you get a lot of action over there. But I wish that my knees were able to hold out to actually catch longer. I loved throwing people out.
Okay.
I loved throwing people out. So that was like
it was very satisfying to do. Unfortunately for me, my arm says otherwise. Yeah. But and also I knew what it was like to be a backup catcher in high school.
Yep.
And never again. Never again. For me though, I will say my favorite position to probably play. I mean, I like playing right field. I do, because it gives me the opportunity to be able to show off my arm. But with my arm the way it is right now, I'm kind of leaning towards probably like left field, and first base. But I will say my favorite position is right field. One position that I always wished that I played more consistently was center field, because the center fielder, yes, you have to have more speed. I don't really have that much speed. I never really had that much speed, but I can go get a ball. And also, you're the commander-in-chief out there. Yeah. You basically help your corner outfielders go get the ball, and if there's a ball somewhere in your facility, it's your ball. You call them off, it's yours. And I love to have that freedom to be able to just call somebody off. And I would take so much freedom in that and literally scare the absolute crap out of my teammates and just go, ah, every single time. A ball would be near my area, and then they'd be like, "Oh, okay, okay."
Ah, man, that's good. All right, question number 2. What food have you never tried but want to?
There are many.
That's a real good question. I would have to say mine would be Wagyu.
You know what? Same. That's one of them. Like A5 Wagyu.
A5 Wagyu.
Like,
I've always wanted to try it.
One of the most expensive pieces of meat you can ever buy on this planet.
I think like a piece of meat like this.
Because I heard it literally
is like $150. It's absurd.
It's absurd, but I heard it's like.
I mean, I heard it when
smooth
you cook
like
it right.
Butter.
You cook only have to cook it, fry it for about put it in a pan. Let it get a little sear, for about 2 minutes. You flip it, you put a little salt on it, and they say that is the way to eat it. And they say when you eat it like that, it just falls apart in your mouth. Yep. So I would always, fall apart in my mouth, please.
But like it just disintegrates. It melts.
Yeah.
That's the way they say it. It melts.
I mean, the marbling on it is almost like.
Oh, and it's beautiful. It's almost too it's almost like too beautiful to actually eat.
It really is.
It really is.
It really is.
One thing that I would love to eat that I've never eaten before is authentic, official Italy pizza.
That I was gonna say when you mentioned Italy, I've always wanted to have authentic Italian pizza, but I feel like you could have authentic Italian pizza if you were to make it yourself. Yeah. I feel like when you have a pizza oven, like literally specific to pizza. Like having a pizza oven like the Oni, ones you could, one of the more famous ones you can get, you can make one yourself. Like, you just got to get the correct ingredients is all.
Yeah, but I'd still like a 5-star chef to be able to cook that for me.
Absolutely.
Same thing with the Wagyu beef.
Something that's always also intrigued me, I will never, ever eat it unless someone pays for it for me, is one of those gold-coated tomahawk steaks. Like, it's literally just, like, there's, like, I guess it's literally, like, actual
It's gold, literally actual gold shavings.
Like,
right?
Gold shavings on, like, it's basically covering the entire tomahawk steak. And they literally just hold it there for you, and they plop it on the plate.
Another thing I would love to absolutely eat is, and we'll get to that topic after our outrageously random questions. It's not the anime that we're going to talk about, but Food Wars is first meal that they make, which was literally it was the what was it? It was like the potato loaf that had like it was wrapped in bacon.
Oh yeah.
And it had the wine sauce. I would love to have that made for me and just devour it because it looks so good.
Honestly, the rice that Soma made for God Tongue, I can't remember her name. For his trial, I've always kind of wanted to try that.
Same, they look very, very appetizing too. Same thing with the omelets.
And I also got to throw this in there because I'm a God Naruto fan. Ichiraku ramen.
Yes,
that's top of the list.
For sure. Definitely authentic ramen from Japan.
Yeah,
would be something that I've never actually said that I have eaten, but
I can't jump into an anime. All
right, next question. Okay, well, that's the question I'm going to pick then. It just flew out of the pile. I'm so excited for me to read it. Once it's really bad for me to read. No, it's not. Would you Do you think you would survive a zombie outbreak if it happened like Last of Us?
I think I probably could, but I would need... It would all depend. If something like that was to happen in real life, my first trip is to Dick's Sporting Goods. Right? Because no one will think, right, they have the guns, they have the ammo. No one will think, they have the camouflage. No one,
some people
they have
will.
a lot of things for, camping and stuff. And that would be the first place I went to if that was to happen. If I went to Dick's and it was already raided, I'm dead. If it wasn't raided and there was a gun with ammo still there, I feel like I would be okay. I feel like I'd be fine and survive at that point.
I'd be the same as you. I'd probably go with you to that same Dick's, and if that were to happen, then
honestly, if something like that was to actually happen, I would probably I would probably have Ashley, while we're driving in the car with Bentley, with our little pew pew, I'd probably send out a massive group text like,
if you're able to,
everyone meet at, or call, whatever.
Yeah.
But everyone meet at Dick's, drive there, don't stop, run every light, whatever, yada 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 yada. Get there.
Get there safe.
Yeah, just get here, and then with all of us, I feel like we'd be able to secure the Dick's. Sporting goods. Sporting goods.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the move, though.
Yeah, same.
I mean, you got to go somewhere where they're gonna at least have a weapon that you could use.
And somewhere secluded too.
Yeah.
I would try to find somewhere in the middle of nowhere to.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that would be shelter. The first place I would get all of my things, and then I feel like plan the trip from there.
Yeah.
And then go and find it.
Yeah. Get every weaponry we need first, and then.
Yeah. Honestly, a spot that wouldn't be too bad is the island over by Mount Beacon. Especially if it was in the wintertime when it was to happen. Even in the summertime, it's a little swim over the a little part of the Hudson River, and then you're on the island. So I wouldn't think that would be a bad idea either, because there's a little castle there. You could at least fortify.
But hopefully there's no open landmines there, because I heard that's the case, and that's why no one goes there anymore.
Well, I had a buddy in high school that went on the island. He took a bunch of pictures inside of it. I mean, he didn't say that about him went off, but
Well, I mean, if there was one that good, he didn't get bombed. Yeah.
All right. Question number 4. What is Will Smith's best role?
Best role for Will Smith.
Best acting role for Will Smith.
Oscar Shark Tales. I love that movie, man.
That's a good one.
I'll say that. Fuck it.
I'm probably gonna go I Am Legend.
Oh yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite ones. And then I believe it's 7 Pounds, where he's trying to be a lawyer. With him and Jaden.
Independence Day.
No. No, that's too American for me. But
Still sticking by it. Shark Tales.
Yeah, Shark Tales is a good one. Shark Tales is a good one. All right.
Great one.
Question number 5.
Who is the current best quarterback?
Patrick Mahomes. End of discussion. Hey, Fresh Prince is another one. That's a.
I forgot about that.
That's a good one. Shout out Slow Mo. That's a good call. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's pretty much Patrick Mahomes.
I can't even. If Brady was still in the game, I would say that he might still at least be in the conversation, but
maybe. I mean,
But Rodgers has fallen out of, I feel like he's at number 5.
Yeah, same thing with Brady, though, because he had fallen this season a little bit, even though he was able to somehow make the playoffs with an 8-9 record.
Yeah.
Don't get me started with that, but...
I feel like Joe Burrow,
Josh
Allen, those guys. Even Trevor Lawrence,
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence will be very good. He'll be very good. He'll definitely help that Jacksonville team out a lot.
All right. Question number 6. What brings you the most joy?
Many things bring me joy.
Ejaculation.
No. Whoa! It's an 18+ stream. Get over it.
Yes. No. But, no, my wife, I can't say anything other than that.
Yeah, my family. I have such a good family. I really do. My mom, my mom, dad, my brothers are still great, and my sister, they're still great. My nephew, my brother-in-law, they're all still great. They still bring me joy every single day, either way. Sounds corny and cliche, but it's true. It's true. Baseball brings me joy. Sports, video games brings me joy. What's great about video games is that, it's like, would you rather me play video games or sit on my ass and just watch TV all day? Because at least with video games, I'm being productive and actually doing something tangible.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
True that. Next question, my friend.
Yeah, we'll put a mulligan on that.
I love you too.
Whoa. Peanut butter or jelly?
Oh, peanut butter. That's
if I had to pick one of the two, it's peanut butter.
Look,
but both are great.
Both are great. Yes, both are great. But
together,
peanut butter. I will literally take a giant scoop of peanut butter, and just eat it off the spoon, people.
Until you find out what's in it.
What do you mean? It's peanut butter, people. It's peanut butter.
Bugs. There's other things too, but I forget. I know that there's some kind of they use like beetle sheen or something like that to give it the sheen look.
Well, guess what? Beetle sheen is...
Same thing with Skittles. They give the sheets.
Good.
Well, same thing with vanilla perfume. They use don't they use gopher farts? They do. They use it's like gopher or otter. No, not otter. Or shit. What are the other? It's gophers and the other. It's same looking animal, but it's not that. I don't know, but they literally use the anal glands of gophers to make vanilla smells in perfume. They do, and other cologne. They do. I swear to God, look it up. I swear to God.
I don't doubt that you're right about that, man. But I just
swear to God.
What is the world? What are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't know. Apparently, gophers' farts smell delicious.
What are we doing here?
I have not smelled, and I don't ever really want to smell a gopher's fart.
No. Why would anybody... Well, can you imagine that's your job? Well, what's your job? I collect gopher farts.
I collect gopher farts.
All right. Question number 8?
I believe already. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Who won the first Super Bowl? It's Green Bay, correct?
Green Bay Packers against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Follow-up. Are they still one of the best teams?
They kind of fallen out of it. They did almost make the playoffs this year. They were in the hunt for a while.
I think she's saying as a Super Bowl, as being a Super Bowl winning team, are they still one of the best teams of all time?
Most successful franchises, yes.
I would say
they've won themselves 4 Super Bowls, which isn't the most, but that's still a pretty decent amount in the NFL. Because then you got the Pittsburgh Steelers who have won the most, right? They've won 6 or 7.
I believe Pittsburgh is the most.
So it's not that far off. It's not like in Major League Baseball where the Yankees have won 27.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near to the point of that because the NFL as a whole started later than MLB did. The MLB really started keeping track of everything in the 1890s, early 1900s. So
And I believe the NFL actually came into commission in late 1940s.
In the 40s or 50s?
Yeah, or 50s.
Around that time period. I believe the first Super Bowl was actually around. It was in the 60s, wasn't it? The first actual legitimate NFL Super Bowl, because wasn't Super Bowl 3 the Colts and Jets? Wasn't it?
It might have been. Actually, might have been. I can't remember though.
Let me look up Super Bowl 3.
I can't get it off the top of my head.
Super Bowl 3, Colts and Jets, 1969. So the first Super Bowl was 1967.
Yeah. Well, hey, there you go. I mean, shoot, I as interpreting the question as like, is that first Super Bowl winning Packer team like among the top 5 like teams of all time? I wouldn't say so. I would say that there's a lot of teams now that would eclipse that team.
Yeah, I mean it was a different game back then.
It was a different era, so.
But they had also won another one after that too.
Didn't they win back-to-back years?
I believe they went in back-to-back years. I don't think they won back-to-back years. I think they actually lost to the Raiders in the second year. I think.
Well,
I'm almost positive. I don't think we won the first 2 Super Bowls.
Was it Super Bowl 4? Was that the Ice Bowl?
I'm going to check.
I can't quite remember, but yeah, I mean, shoot, man. Yeah, it was
Super Bowl 4 was Kansas City and Minnesota.
What was the first Super Bowl that Dallas was in then?
I was right about the second Super Bowl. The Green Bay Packers actually won it. Holy shit! Wow, I thought they didn't. All right, so they won the first 2 Super Bowls. But when was? Oh, was it the Colts and Cowboys? No, that was Miami.
No, it was Green Bay and.
Yeah, it was Green Bay
and Dallas.
And Dallas Ice Bowl. Green Bay and.
Look, I don't believe that Kansas City was the team that they played.
67 though. They played the Cowboys, but I don't think it was. That wasn't this. That was.
It said NFL Championship game, so.
Yeah,
I'm not entirely sure if that would.
I don't think it was considered a Super Bowl yet.
Yeah, it might not have actually been considered a Super Bowl.
Was it a conference championship game?
It just said NFL Championship game.
Yeah. Yeah, so just 1967 NFL Championship game.
Last championship game before they started the what's it called? The Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, that's that.
That is that, and we're down to our final 2 questions. One for each of us. And then the final question is for you to decide.
Yes.
Well, for you to answer.
Yes.
Because we already decided what the question is going to be. We haven't read it yet. It'll be the first time we have heard the question. We could give our answers if you want to. But it's mostly for you.
We will give our answer to the last question, but it's mainly out for the chat input.
Okay.
All right. Question number 9.
Which is your favorite, or hold on, which format do you prefer? Manga or comic book?
That's a good one. I feel like for convenience sake, I would say comics.
Yeah, I remember them being really short and sweet too.
Yeah, and it was a lot more difficult to navigate, because if you open a manga,
if you've never
don't know that
it goes from back, like you literally swipe pages to the right instead of the left.
Yeah.
Then it would be a bit of a culture shock.
Yeah.
for you.
I feel like people would have a little bit of trouble with that, but
mm-hmm.
I would definitely say comic books. I would much rather prefer to read manga, but
manga's cool because if you're able to have a little bit of an imagination, you're able to interpret it as like an actual episode, which is great. Especially awesome if you've seen the actual episode.
Yep. Absolutely. And
waving hi to the uncle.
All right. So, on to my last question. Question number 10.
Question number 10. What is question number 10?
Do you believe in love at first sight?
We've actually had that question asked in Adams' class. Did he ask you that question?
He asked something similar.
Similar?
Let me just hear your answer on this, but I'm gonna say yes, but I'm also gonna say no.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning. I'm leaning towards no.
Because it could be completely different for everybody.
Yeah, like
some people might not be looking for it, and it stumbles onto their lap, and then they're like, "Oh, oh my God, this is amazing." But
I believe like a catching feelings at sight.
Yeah,
but like
I definitely
love is just such a strong word and definition, and like I really believe that it should be given meaning, like real like thought out, good meaning, instead of just throwing it out there. That's not really a word that you should just be throwing out there like quickly to people. Obviously unless they're family, but if it's a significant other, like I don't know, like I just find that kind of weird if you think you love someone and you don't even know who the frack they are.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it in movies, but I mean,
yeah, in movie it works in movies.
Oh my God, that girl! I just saw her. She escaped. I don't know where she went, but I'm gonna marry her.
Yeah,
she's my wife. Like,
I mean, that's the equivalent of me saying that Jenna Ortega is gonna be my future wife. And she is going to be my future wife. If you
know Jenna Ortega and have connections, my boy's single. Yeah. But, hey, it's your time now.
It's your turn! And what turn is yours?
No!
It's not what. That's when is your turn. But what is your turn? To do what? AP.
Answer this question. This really random question. I guarantee you're not going to know what the question is, right? Except for one person, because she's the one who writes it. But, yeah, so we'll...
I mean, she may remember it, but she doesn't know what it is right now.
Yeah, that's very... No, she did read it. And
okay, never mind. You're right, she did.
So, now... If you're watching this now, we obviously would like you to put your comments into chat, and we're going to read your input, because that's what this question is really for. We are going to answer it ourselves after we read the question, and we'll wait for your input. But if you're seeing this afterwards as just, as the recorded video, leave a comment.
Yeah.
We'll absolutely want to hear what you want to say still.
Absolutely.
So, we'll look forward to those as well. But, would you like to do the honors, my friend?
Yes. Your question of the night is, what is your favorite pick-me-up?
What is your favorite pick-me-up?
Now, and that's in context of...
I'm assuming if you're down, what's your best pick-me-up? So, what gets you into the good spirits?
So, what is your favorite pick-me-up? What's your favorite, something that you need to pick yourself up to make you feel a little better about
the day and how things are going in life? I gotta say, cuddling Bentley, just squishing him a little bit, that it brings me up good, but it's difficult to say. Video games is one. Sleeping is another one.
Oh, naps. Oh, yeah.
Sleeping is definitely another one. I really don't take naps, but
I take them power naps, baby.
Sleeping is definitely one that helps. Yeah, but video games is also another one, because most of the time when I'm playing video games, I'm able to talk to you guys, and at least you guys are picking me up a little bit, being on the jolly spirits.
Yeah, and the same for me, even with the aspect of just playing like a favorite game of mine that's a comfort game, obviously like a baseball game, or just something that kind of like sparks my interest, kind of puts a smile on my face. I like to, get lost in like an MLB game that I'm playing, submerge myself into that kind of world. I mean, I guess now Harry Potter is like that, or Hogwarts is like that kind of game for me, where I literally just go around and just fly on a broom. Watching baseball games, as Charles Murphy, as my father, says.
Papa Chuck.
And I agree with him. And he can relate to that with me as well because we're both kind of the same. We love watching archives of baseball games. Yeah. I have playlists of literally MLB.TV's archives of Mets games from like 2009 to present. So like like I'll just go back in time and relive my childhood and watch those games again and watch the Mets suck. But it's okay because sometimes they actually win. There's some games that they've actually won. Can you believe that? And yeah, seeing your favorite doggo like us, it was Marley. Rest in peace. But I mean, probably the same with you in a way. In a way, when he's not acting like an absolute total tool.
Yeah, when he's not deliberately being an asshole. Yeah, but definitely, I mean, dogs can play a very special part in your life. Mm-hmm. And they grow that, it's almost like your heart, right? It's almost like they sprout this little branch and they're attached to it.
Yeah.
And when, especially Bentley, when he smiles, right?
He literally smiles too.
It makes me so happy. We'll post some pictures on Instagram and Facebook about Bentley.
Oh yeah. Which we have now.
Yes.
In the link in the description of this video is the link to our Facebook page and our Instagram page. Instagram isn't really done yet, but it's there. So if you want to follow, we'll have that set up and ready at a short time. So that's there for you. But yes, we will be you'll be seeing more of Bentley on there. And yes, it is absolutely a definite pick-me-up. It's nice to cuddle with your favorite pet.
Yes, absolutely.
And my Uncle Joe goes through his cards.
Yeah,
that's a nice one.
I would definitely say I'm a big fan of Pokemon cards, and
I used to be a big fan of baseball cards. I used to go.
Yeah,
I still do from time to time. I'll go over and look at his collection.
Yeah, but I mean, I love just looking at the card art. I mean,
Pokemon card art is very nice.
It's so fascinating and so vibrant and beautiful.
Yeah,
it's just so nice.
Yeah, and being with family is another big one. I will say, planning an event.
Yeah, I will say being with family.
Looking forward to an event that's been already planned.
And like being with family, being with friends, I feel like those fall pretty much in the same hand.
Yeah,
because
friends are family.
Yeah, because I would say that most of my friends fall into the family category. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. Yeah. So. All right. Once again, I'm gonna go ahead and read this question out one more time.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone else didn't hear it. What is your favorite pick-me-up?
What is your favorite? The viewer watching right now, what is your favorite pickup? We've gone through them. We like the dogs. We like the baseball. We like watching sports.
We like gaming.
We like going through our cards. Yep. Collections.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy that. I'll even throw another one out there. Swords. Now, given a lightsaber is not a sword, but it technically is.
It's a saber. Saber's a sword.
I love playing with my lightsaber and my sword. So,
yeah, it's a cool pick me up.
I feel like when I hold it, I transform into the character that I imagine had it. Mm-hmm. Picture myself as Aragorn.
Yeah. I will say playing baseball is a pick me up too. Because I'll usually, when I'm playing baseball, I focus on the game and I'm able to tune out, anything tough going on in the real world.
Yeah.
Going to baseball games, going to events is a good pick me up too.
Would you say like BP is like a really good one?
Yeah. BP's a good one.
Because
Absolutely.
You're kind of able to let out some steam.
Yeah, you're able to let off some steam, but you're also now focusing on the time in the cage. You're focusing on all the pitches being thrown at you. You're focusing on your swing. You're focusing on how you can hit this ball the most perfect way you can every single time. Yeah. And then, oh wait, you just forgot about everything that's happening. Now you're over it. So that does help out a lot. And like I said, I will say, like going to events like baseball and hockey games, and again, like it ties into watching sports, but also going there is really nice too, because that puts you in a totally different mode. And cool situation. So you should go at it.
I technically do have two swords,
but one of them doesn't.
One's a katana.
And
the other one is.
I forgot you got the katana.
Yeah, and one is like a medieval sword, like a almost like a Lord of the Rings sword.
Did you get the black one? What'd you get?
Un momento, folks. I will go and grab the sword really quickly. But yeah, that's definitely a good one. We'll wait for some more input from the crowd here.
Yeah. We'll wait a little more input. Again, the question is, what is your favorite pick-me-up? If you haven't answered yet, please, we'd love to know. We'd love to know what your favorite pick-me-up is. Something that gets you out of a bad time and place and puts you into a good mood. And like I said before, for me, it's playing video games and watching sports and playing sports. It really puts me in a good mood. So I will absolutely say that. And oh my God, it's here. Oh, I'm being knighted. Well, almost being knighted. Whoa. Now this, AP, would you kindly tell the audience where you had acquired this piece of armory from?
So this sword I had received from medieval times. We all went and had an event for Slow-Mo 21's wedding celebration the night after his wedding. And they had live, like real swords there. So
this is heavy.
I acquired it. You can go ahead and take this out. This.
Mm-hmm. It is dull.
Scabbard. It is pretty thick, pretty sturdy, right? It's all This is I'm assuming probably fake leather, but this is metal. This is metal.
3D.
But if we want to grab the sword here, I'll go ahead and show you guys like the handle a little bit. It's got some scripture on the actual handle part itself. If it could actually, get it in the lighting there, but it really reminds me of a Lord of the Rings sword. It's very reminiscent of what would be a mini sword for them. One of the Hobbit swords.
Mm-hmm.
Because Aragorn in the thing in Legolas, they were like 7 feet tall.
Oh, so, yeah.
They were awesome. Insanely tall. Yeah. But that's how it is. All right, we get any more input? I want to hear one more opinion.
We would love to hear one more opinion. And again, that question is, what is your favorite pick-me-up?
Yes.
What is your favorite pick-me-up? Not ours. What is yours?
Absolutely.
We would love to know.
I want to get some input from you guys.
Mm-hmm.
This
is the time. This is the place.
Yes. Absolutely. This is a great part of the segment.
It really is.
I love doing this part of the show.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun going through these questions and sparking up interest.
In general, but
yeah.
But this is definitely one of the fun parts.
Yeah.
And remember, as last week, we did a segment of Rank This again, where we did the NFL logos. This week, we will be doing the NBA logos. So we'll be talking about a little anime after we get, one more opinion, one more answer in chat, and then after we get that, we'll continue on with a little bit of anime. And then some Rank This.
Rank This.
Rank This.
We'll be getting to that. It's okay if people are shy. Listen, it is what it is.
Yeah, we just want to give the people their opportunity.
Oh yeah.
We want to hear from our, our audience, our family.
Our family. Family.
And I kind of been thinking, I'm going to bring this proposal up to you live on show. What do you think about making next week? We do our, questions, and we talk about a little sports, right? A little whatever, and then why don't we do story time?
That would be very cool. Any story time?
I feel like we could pull up way many stories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my wife still hasn't answered the question.
That is very true. His wife, who made the very question.
I'm kind of looking for her input here.
We weren't gonna say it out loud, but
she's the one that made the question. I want to hear her input as well. So, what is your favorite pick me up?
Your pick me up is naps and Bentley cuddles.
Yeah.
Very valid. Very
Bentley
valid.
Cuddles. Absolutely.
Very valid.
Next week we'll start the show with Bentley out here. We'll make it a little spice.
Yeah. We'll give it our best shot.
Yeah.
We'll give it our best
shot.
Give
it our best shot. That's it. That's all we can say.
Yeah.
But thank you for your inputs, chat. We very much appreciate it. As you contributing to this community.
We're not over yet. We still got some more discussions to discuss.
Absolutely, and we still want to hear your opinions on everything. We'll be reading it in chat, but we just won't be announcing it. So, on Friday, this past week, we went to the movie theater to go see Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer!
Now, it was really not what I expected going there. Was it what you expected?
It was what I expected because, like, I did a lot of research, wanting to know, like, what I'm getting myself into, because I wanted to see if it was going to be anything different from the last season's, premiere, which was literally a full featured film that basically went through, like, the first, 6 episodes, basically.
Yeah.
And, I know a lot of people were, like, hit and miss about that. I knew people kind of thought it made it ruin the series a little bit because it literally gave away the first 6 episodes, and then suddenly they just redid the episodes again after you just saw all 6 episodes into a 2-hour flick.
Yep.
But this time it was different. This time it was literally a recap of the last 2 episodes of the last season. You got to watch them again, leading up to the first episode of season 3, the new season that nobody has seen yet. And a lot of people were a little confused about it because, especially we were when we were going into it, because we saw that it was like, oh, this is 2 hours long. Yes. Maybe it's actually 2-hour film. And we're like, okay, well, maybe lean towards that. But it didn't turn out that way.
And it was kind of interesting that they, like, the first 20 minutes was kind of just a recap of the entire anime.
Yeah, it was like a nice, new kind of highlight recap.
Yeah.
Of everything, basically of the entire series, like you said, and went into the second to last episode.
Yeah,
which was 25 minutes, and then the next episode was 25 minutes.
Now, I will say, I really enjoyed watching that fight on the big screen. With the surround sound, and the movie theater speakers.
That's one thing where I kind of noticed that what they were kind of aiming towards is to be able to see that fight. Yeah. On the big screen with the big surround sound.
Because it literally was like the biggest fight of the year for anime.
Oh yeah.
It was like the most talked about fight. It was just so beautifully done. But then they ended up going into the first episode and finishing the premiere. They went to the first episode of the new season. What'd you think?
I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean it definitely left a lot to be open.
Yep. A lot to be open. Lots of new characters revealed.
Yes, lots of new characters. You got to see the top 3 demons.
Mm-hmm.
And Musin kind of doing his thing in his infinite, I believe he called it Infinite Castle.
Yeah.
Or Infinite Motel, or.
It's something like that. It's like it looks like that. It looks like this one kind of big infinite upside down, kind of like Japanese motel.
And it's interesting how there's a lady with a guitar,
mm-hmm.
and or a banjo, and she strings it, and they're able to transport somewhere.
Yeah, it's almost like she's the assistant.
Yeah, it's almost like she's a teleporter.
Yeah.
It's
like the main person to literally teleport every demon to where they need to where they're assigned to.
Yeah, and I think that's wild. I think that's
mm-hmm.
crazy.
And it was finally cool to be able to actually be in that area for a majority of an episode and actually learn what it's like for them, for what they go through.
Yeah.
And then actually see each individual top ranking demon.
Yeah.
Which was insane.
Seeing the top demon.
Oh my god. Terrifying.
I think there's correlation to
one of the new characters. It's a new character that you see at the end of the episode. You don't see throughout the whole.
Yes.
You only see throughout the end. You don't hear him talk or anything. They introduce him, but just him, his physical being. They don't actually get into his name yet. They don't actually get into what he's there for.
I believe they got into his name in a flashback, but
they did. Yeah, they did, but I couldn't remember off the top of my head right now.
I can't remember it either. But I will say I'm very excited. I'm just very excited for him to learn. like learn more.
To learn more, more skill.
In the first episode, Inosuke and Zenitsu get sent on their own missions after recovering.
Yeah, which we did get a little bit of a spoiler. I mean, kind of, where that they're not really seen as much in the series, which is it kind of tells us, even if we didn't know that in the first place, we would have kind of figured that out because of the fact that they were sent on their own missions and they were just kind of like, okay, they're doing their own thing. It's Tanjiro that we're gonna learn more about in this season.
Yep, absolutely. And on Saturday, Attack on Titan premiered its part 3 to the final season, and this season will be ending one of the best animes of all time. It is phenomenal through and through. I have yet to watch the first episode. I believe it is like a double feature extended episode to start the season. I'm not ready, folks. I'm not ready for it to end because each season it leaves me on my toes. Like this season of My Hero has.
Yeah, seriously.
And when we watched the newest episode of My Hero, I've seen it. He has not. When that episode ends,
watching it after this.
When you watch the episode after this, the end of the episode, and when they cut it, is going to make you want to shoot your brains out.
Damn it.
It's tough because this next episode is going to be wild. It is going to be crazy. And you'll know soon enough, my friend. But that ends it for anime. If you got any anime questions, real quick, might go ahead and answer them. But let's move on to, our another favorite segment here. Rank this.
Rank this.
Come on, people. We're ranking this.
Rank this.
We're ranking this. All right. So, we got our categories. We got, at the top of the list, perfect of the perfect. Then we go the next category right below it. Straight gas. Which means, in another terms of straight fire, or, it is very, very good, but it's not quite perfect. Then we got just right. It's middle of the road, but it's just right for what it, needs to get across.
Yep.
And then we go into not terrible, where it doesn't really meet the mark, and it really needs some improvement.
But it's not bad.
But it's not
terrible.
It's not terrible. Meaning not terrible in, our fourth category. And then in the fifth category, in last place, which is the bottom of the list, that's ass.
And it's not a positive category to be in. It's in fact the worst of the worst.
Yes.
That we believe that
quite literally
falls there.
Quite literally, we believe that those are the worst of the worst. And then afterwards, we will go ahead and rank our, opinions for whatever teams might end up being in perfect, and then whatever teams might end up being in that's ass. We'll go ahead and rank them in order from what we believe.
I'm going to say this, though. My prediction is that we're going to have probably at the most maybe one.
Sorry,
that's it.
I didn't understand that.
Was I talking to you? No. I was talking to you. Them.
The people.
I don't know if any of these logos are going to be in That's Ass. Because the
So,
NBA's logos are pretty good.
The NBA's logos are very good. And most of them will meet that mark. But I think that there might be one or two that fall.
Okay.
I think that we're gonna at least have one. That's all I can say. So let's kick it off here.
The Milwaukee Bucks.
Now, I like this logo. I think it's good.
Yeah, I've always loved the Milwaukee Bucks look with the green and the cream.
Yeah,
it looks so nice to me.
Yeah, it is really nice.
And it's got hot chocolate everywhere. I got to the point. It's spilling.
Oh no!
Dang it.
Uh-oh.
I need to go wash up really quick.
He'll be right back, but so here with the Bucks, I Mr. Murphdog was saying, I really do like the green. I feel like the buck is well represented, and I don't really know if it plays much homage to the city, but I do believe that having the green and, it represents well. I personally, I would say that this is straight gas. I think that's pretty simple. I think it's good enough to be there. What do you think?
I agree. It is definitely a straight gas. It is a very, very nice logo.
All right. The Brooklyn Nets.
The Brooklyn Nets.
This is not a good logo.
Yeah, I will agree.
I don't know if I can fully say that I can put it in that's ass. But it is definitely in the not terrible category for sure. If not, that's ass. I just don't think that it pays homage to anything besides basketball. As literally there's a basketball with a B on it.
And let's just say that it's a team called the Nets when there's 0 basketball nets in this logo.
Yeah, quite literally.
Like their last logo with New Jersey, it had a rim and a net.
Yeah. I just, this one's not good. Yeah, I might end up wanting to change my opinion later on during the show, but I'm gonna go not terrible for now.
Okay, I'll say the same because it's not terrible. It's clean.
No, it is.
It's clean, but terrible. Like it did like.
It
really
I
honestly
improve.
will say the New Jersey Nets logo is better than that.
Yes, it could really improve.
Yeah. The New York Knicks.
Now, I have always really loved this logo.
Yeah.
Biased, from New York.
Yeah, and I'm also partial to orange and blue as always.
Yes, it's a very good combo of colors, but the logo stands out. It's kind of, I wouldn't say it's vibrant, but it kind of has a vibrant-esque to it.
It's in your face. There's no black. There's no black. There's no shadowing. Yeah. It's literally just a straight up orange with the baby blue and the silver.
And it's got the little New York.
The New York on the top there, and Knicks in the curve with the 3D, and then the basketball in the middle with a triangular Triforce kind of looking thing in the background to kind of piece it all together. It's such an iconic logo. They've been one of the teams who have been through the least amount of logo changes in the NBA, and it just works for them and for the state of New York.
What are you thinking here?
I mean, I could put it in perfect. I could, but I would say straight gas.
Perfect. All right.
The Toronto Raptors.
Now, this logo wasn't bad, but if this was their old logo...
If this was their OG logo with the literal raptor with the basketball on the jersey, that would be perfect. That would be perfect.
The top of the perfect list.
Yes, that would be number one, probably the best logo in the entire league.
But this logo isn't terrible.
It's not bad. I mean, if you took out the claw ripped out of the basketball, it would probably fall in the not terrible category just because it's just a circle with a basketball in it and saying Toronto Raptors. But they added that claw. I'd say it's just right.
I would agree. I would think it's just right.
I would say it's just right. It's nice.
Yeah.
At least they kept that claw in the logo to kind of represent what the Raptor is. But I will say, if it was that Raptor, man, it would be number one. It would be the best logo of the NBA, by far.
All right. The Utah Jazz.
Jazz.
This is their logo, but, as a secondary logo, they have just the music note.
Music note J.
And I really like it.
Yeah, it's nice.
I think it's... I lean towards just right because I feel like it really represents it just right, but I could go and say that this might be straight gas because it really represents it well.
I could too, even though it's literally just the lettering of JAZZ, the Utah Jazz. It's just what else could you do with it realistically? Besides the musical note, which has a basketball in it, which is a nice touch.
Maybe you make
you don't really see it here,
like a jazz instrument.
You could actually have a big sax with a basketball in the bulb of the saxophone.
That would be actually not that bad of a logo.
Right? Maybe a basketball shooting out of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Or you make it like the end of the basketball, or you make like the end of the where the bowl is. You make like a little backboard on it, and you make like a little, you kind of color it like a gold plated.
Yeah. Like say like the bulb is the rim, right? And then the bottom of it is not the net; it's the horn going up behind a backboard.
Yep.
And then have like the spout, the end, like the mouthpiece here, and then the basketball going into it.
Yes, I think that would be a good logo.
That would be a very nice logo.
That would be a very nice logo.
But what do you think? Just right or straight gas?
I think it's just right. What do you think?
I think it's just right too.
Okay.
It's well, like I mean, like the only reason why I don't put it in straight gas is just because it's literally just says jazz. It literally just says jazz. Yeah. But I will say I do like how they turned the J into a musical note and put the basketball inside the J.
Yes.
It's very nice.
It is very nice.
The Houston Rockets.
Now, it somewhat pays homage because the bottom parts of the R in the rocket are supposed to be...
They're supposed to be the jet flames.
Jet flames.
Yeah.
But
like,
my
if you...
honest opinion, that's ass. It really does not look like...
Yeah, although it
literally, to me, it looks like a couple lines.
Yeah, I know. Like, if you didn't know what this team was, you wouldn't say Rockets.
No.
You would be like, what the frick? Like, you wouldn't even know.
The Red Ribbon Army.
Like, the Red Ribbon Army. The rings.
Yeah,
like,
really.
The
Red Rings.
Yeah, like, literally. I probably would agree. It's... That's ass, because...
It's just...
It
can need,
and it's been that way ever since they were brought into the
I'm sorry,
the NBA.
I feel like there has been controversy, of wanting to change the logo to like a rocket ship, but I can understand the concern in that, where it could look like a pair of what some private parts.
Yeah,
but I think if you
dirty minds
did something with that rocket. You do something with a rocket, it would be so much better.
Yeah, I would agree. But there's like, again, the reason why we put this here is just because there's like nothing going for it except for the flames at the bottom. Yeah. But if you didn't know what this team is, you wouldn't think that those are flames. You would think that those are just accents on the bottom of the R.
You could possibly even think it's a bug, because the two where the R meets at the top left, it looks like it's two like antennas going out.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's really minimalistic.
I will say iconic though, because as soon as I see that logo, I think of Yao Ming.
Yeah.
With the Houston Rockets, I do absolutely think of Yao Ming.
Very true.
But
I think of Olajuwon, but is what it
or
is.
Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, true.
God, I miss the NBA. All right, anyway, the New Orleans Pelicans. There's a lot going on in this logo.
There's a lot going on in it.
There's a lot.
Right off, I think this is straight gas. I think it does a lot of things well. Obviously has the name. There is a bird pelican.
Yes, there is a big bird pelican.
I
think there's a basketball right there.
I'm not entirely sure.
I can't really tell.
It's a little small, but I think that since it has a lot going on, it's very like
it presents itself
logo.
Very exquisite, and it presents itself very flashy, and boom, we're the freaking Pelicans.
Yeah.
I would agree it's straight gas.
Straight gas.
I would agree. It's just nice. And
yeah, it is.
It's just nice.
So, the Los Angeles Lakers.
Los Angeles Lakers.
Very, very iconic logo.
Mm-hmm.
The gold, or the yellow, gold, and
yellow,
purple.
Gold, and purple. The gold basketball with the purple lettering of the Lakers. Why were they called the Lakers?
I honestly could not tell you.
There's no water in LA, unless when they made the team there was water.
Could not tell you why, but being that it is iconic, my personal opinion, I don't really think that the logo is really that nice. I don't think it's got a ton of things going for it. But because of how icon that it is, and I do love purple, and I think that the colors match very well with each other.
Yeah,
I think it's just right.
I think so too. It's nice.
It is.
It's nice. I like it, but I wouldn't say it's straight gas.
Yeah. So
the Chicago Bulls.
So I want to hear your opinion on this.
Insanely iconic. I do love the big bull's head being angry. I do kind of wish that there was smoking blown out of the
know,
nose, or maybe even a bull ring.
That's why I wanted to hear you talk, because I was going to say that I think this is a very iconic logo, and I think it's a very nice logo, but if there was possibly like a bull ring, or like that nose ring, or if there was some smoke coming out of it, with some devil eyes or something.
You can even, if you wanted to, even though it's probably unnecessary, you could put like 2 basketballs at the end of each horn, being staked, pierced into the basketball.
It's true. But honestly though,
or even like spin like a top on the horn.
Yeah, honestly though, I do think that this is a perfect logo.
It is, because what do you think of when you see his logo?
Michael Jordan,
the best basketball player to ever freaking live. So,
I mean, it's very good, and it represents it. When you look at that, you think that's the Bulls.
Yep.
Given Michael Jordan made that possible, right? Put him on the map. But when you look at that, you think it's the Bulls. And they do the best job in telling you, hey, we're the Bulls.
Yeah, we're the Bulls. It's straight up. Anybody who does not know what this team is, they're the Bulls.
They're the Bulls.
So, perfect?
Perfect.
The Minnesota Timberwolves. One of the best names in professional sports.
Yes.
I will absolutely say that right off the bat. And this logo is also very nice.
Yes.
Would you say this logo is better than their previous one?
Now, remind me what their previous logo was.
Their previous logo was basically like with the Timberwolf head on top of the Timberwolves name, and it kind of like does like a triangular shape. I actually would love to actually show it to you really quick, because it was nice. I really like this logo a lot.
This logo, I do really like it. I kind of like how it's put in like a nighttime.
Yeah,
like
with the
setting,
star. Yeah,
with the star. Oh yeah, that is true.
Right.
I really like that logo.
Yeah. The original one, but this one's also really good too.
That one is also very nice.
This one's very modern looking.
Yes.
It is very, very modern looking and clean,
Yes.
as opposed to the last one where they kind of tried to do more of a 3D rendering.
Yep.
And a little bit more flashy, which was nice. They had the Timberwolves name and the forest and the big wolf head.
Yep.
Which was very nice looking. But I won't say that this is a downgrade.
No, I won't at all. I think that both of them are straight gas.
Yes, I'll absolutely agree with you. It is definitely a straight gas logo. You okay over there?
Yeah, the button is stuck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Hopefully it turns off on its own.
Yeah. Portland Trailblazers.
Portland Trailblazers.
Now, honest opinion, I like the logo.
Yeah.
Right? I
love the name.
Yeah, I like the name.
Another great sports name. Another great name.
You look at that, I would think it's some business.
Yeah. It looks like a Xerox logo.
It does, and it literally, I wouldn't think it's associated with basketball.
Yeah, but I will say it's cool looking. Though.
It is. It's
cool.
Very cool looking. But I think that it should pay a little bit more homage to the name.
They could have a basketball in the middle.
They could. They could very well make it a basketball in the middle.
We also just got a fact check here by Coltrane, which was very helpful. Thank you very much. The Lakers got their name, the Lakers, from when they moved from Detroit to Minnesota.
Interesting.
That makes sense. The Great Lakes.
That does make sense.
It does make sense. They just kept the name when they moved to Los Angeles.
That's fair.
That is fair. Thank you very much, Coltrane. Yeah, Appreciate the fact check there. Awesome. Now back to the Trailblazers.
Back to the logo itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I feel like if it paid a little bit more homage to the actual name of the team, it'd be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
What do you? I'm leaning straight gas.
This one's straight gas?
I'm leaning straight gas. I really like the logo as itself.
I do. It just looks cool.
It really does just look cool, but I just don't think that it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's quite there.
I was honestly thinking that you would think it would put it in just right, but I love the name. The Trailblazers has such a cool ass freaking name.
Yeah.
And it's cool looking, even though looks like it has nothing to do with basketball.
Yep.
It looks like a Xerox logo, as if they rebranded, but I still like it a lot. I still like the look, with the like the maroon red and the silver and black.
Yeah.
It looks nice. It looks nice. The Denver Nuggets. Would you say that this logo is better than their previous?
I think so. I like this logo a lot.
I will say this though, I do miss the old color scheme with the baby blue and gold.
Yes,
now they're navy blue, gold, and red.
Yeah.
Which I don't really like the red with the gold and blue.
I didn't like that it had nuggets on it. Like, part of the logo had nuggets in it.
Did it?
I believe it did.
The
I
old
believe
logo?
it had it at the bottom.
Did it?
But
I'm looking that up.
I'm not entirely...
I used to love their
I'm
uniforms.
not entirely sure.
The Denver Nuggets old uniforms.
Like, I mean, we're thinking Carmelo Anthony time.
Oh, yeah. Carmelo Anthony time.
But I do
Gallinari
think
when
that
he
this
joined the
logo
team.
is very nice. You know, nuggets meaning gold. Yeah.
They didn't have, like, actual nuggets in it.
Well, no, I meant, like, the name.
Well, yeah, like, the actual, like, nuggets. Yeah. Like, they actually had, like, the legit, like, Nuggets. And the mountain in Denver, it had, like, wings on it, too, which was very interesting. Yeah. But it didn't really have anything to do with the fact that they're gold nuggets. They're named after gold nuggets. Yeah. This, however, has the two minor pickaxes
with the gold
in the middle and a basketball in the middle. It's very nice.
I think it pays homage to everything. You know, this is another one where I'm kind of leaning like the really high end of straight gas, if not perfect.
If not perfect. I will absolutely say it is, without a doubt, straight gas.
Could we make like a genuine case for this being perfect?
The genuine case would be it
pays homage to literally everything.
Literally everything. The name and the sport.
I mean, being the Nuggets, you're like...
It's just a nice freaking logo.
The colors
it's cool.
Like navy blue and gold go well.
It's such a kick-ass logo.
It is.
What do you think?
Perfect.
Yeah, baby. This is our opinion anyway. It's not just old-fashioned.
Yep.
It's also the modern.
Yes.
Some of them have done well.
Yes.
And this is one of them. I agree.
The Oklahoma City Thunder.
This is a weird logo.
It is.
To me.
I don't really think it represents the Thunder very well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, you think like a cloud with like a lightning bolt coming out of
it.
You know?
Yeah, or even like an older Tampa Bay Lightning looking logo.
Yeah.
Or like you said, there's like a storm cloud with like thunder coming out of it.
I don't think it's terrible.
But they really wanted something more basketball related rather than thunder related. They went with like the like little like badge looking shape here with the basketball inside of it. OKC, as their abbreviation, and they're known as OKC. They have these weird little two lines that go through it, and then thunder on the top. It's terrible. Sort of flashy, but yeah, I'd put it in not terrible because it's not ass, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, I will say. Just because, like, it has nothing to do with the name Thunder, but it does have something to do with basketball.
Yeah.
And it literally says the team, like the team's name right there.
Yep.
And, if you're from America, OKC, I mean, you'd probably correlate it to Oklahoma in some other fashion.
Yeah.
Because what else are you going to correlate that to?
Yeah.
So, not terrible.
The Memphis Grizzlies.
Grizzlies. I know that they use this as their main logo, but they do have another one that actually says Memphis Grizzlies with this head, and it looks nice.
Yes.
But this is just a big, mean grizzly head, much like the Chicago Bulls.
Yes.
And I love the name for Team Grizzlies. It's a great name.
I think I lean more towards straight gas with this one. You could obviously tell if you weren't to say it's the Bears, right? It's Grizzly.
Oh no! Did I screw up? I think I screwed up. No, go back. I screwed up. I hit something. No!
Uh-oh.
I screwed up, guys. I'm sorry. I hit some button on the mouse. I apologize. Oh, no. Oh, no, it's still there. Thank God it's still there. Woo! False alarm. We're okay.
All right. So.
I'll try not to hit that button anymore.
What are we thinking?
I say straight gas.
Straight gas.
Yeah. It's not perfect.
It's not.
It could go in just right, but it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's really cool. I like it. The Dallas Mavericks.
Now, this one, I'm leaning not terrible here.
Yeah.
I really don't think it's the best logo. Like, you can kind of see, that it's a horse.
Mm-hmm.
It's in, like, a basketball shape.
Mm-hmm. It takes up, like, half of it.
Yeah. I think they could have done a real better job with the logo.
Yeah, they could have used like a legitimate like big Maverick.
Yeah.
With the basketball, kind of sort of something like the Colts did with their original logo with the big bucking Colt.
You make like the big, you make the horse, getting up, but then you put the basketball on its foot.
Yeah. Yeah, or you could literally break, like, it's sitting there, but it has the basketball underneath its hood,
Captain
like
Morgan.
Triumph. Yeah, like Captain Morgan. I personally, though, would think it would fit in the just right category.
Yeah.
Just because, like, and, every time I think of this logo, I think of Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
And many others. But, I mean, I could put it in not terrible because it's okay. The horse looks kind of funky.
I concede with it just right, though.
Yeah.
Because, it is, Maverick, but when I do think that, I think of Dirk. And he, it was his era. And, they really haven't done anything with the logo. But I do expect a rebrand, hopefully kind of soon, because they have a really good team this year.
Yeah. So. Probably. They have tweaked the uniforms a little bit, but logo, I wouldn't be surprised if you see something different in the future.
All right.
The San Antonio Spurs, not sperms. No, listen, I'm taking human bio, all right? We've been learning about the human reproductive system. It's not my fault. But the San Antonio Spurs, the only team to play in San Antonio, the only professional, major professional sport team.
I really like it.
I do too. It's big spur, and it's not a basketball in the middle, but it's like a big kaboom.
Yep.
Kind of like simulates the clank that the Spurs make on the back of people's shoes. People's boots.
Man, I kind of think that this is just right.
Same.
I think that it really does a good job. I think it's
not
just
bad.
Right.
It's not bad. It's nice.
No, it's not.
It's nice. I really do like the look of it. It's very different and interesting. I will say this would work perfect for a football logo.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it literally looks like a goalpost.
Absolutely.
It literally looks like a goalpost.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I will say, just right.
Phoenix Suns.
The Phoenix Suns.
Now, if they were to use just the sun with the basketball, I love it. I kind of just don't like the badge look of it. Like in the box with the Phoenix Suns part. But although I still think it's straight gas.
Yeah, I'll say it's straight gas too. It's not perfect.
No, but
it's a cool looking logo.
It is and it has good qualities to it.
Yeah, and like Phoenix Suns, it does pay homage to the state of Arizona and Phoenix for it being so hot. It's always sunny. It's never raining. It's always, a hot environment. So the Suns, it's a nice, that's a good name to work towards for that area. The LA Clippers.
Now, this is another one that, I kind of feel like this is one where it's hard to do something off of the name Clippers, but
they should use a Clipper ship.
A Clipper ship?
That's what they're named after. The Clipper is a ship. It's a type of ship. They should use a Clipper ship.
I did not know that.
Or like a pirate. Because there's actually, and one of the best logos I've ever seen is a former AHL team that only ran for 2 seasons. And it played in other leagues, minor leagues as well. But it played in the AHL for 2 seasons. And it was the Baltimore Clippers.
Yeah.
And it was literally a big, like, Popeye-looking pirate guy. And it's such a kick-ass logo, him with a hockey stick. I would think that if they do something like that, and we'll get to the Boston Celtics, something like that, where they actually have a physical being, like a pirate, coming off his Clipper ship.
I could agree.
Or just a Clipper ship. Just a blue, a blue, red, and black Clipper ship. That would be pretty cool. With a basketball at the helm.
Have the basketball be the anchor.
Yeah, basketball be the anchor or like the head of the ship.
Yeah. But this logo.
But this is...
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible. I honestly... I could put it in Dad's ass, but it's not terrible. I mean, it looks okay. Like, it's not like... I don't look at it and go, ugh!
Yeah.
Like with the Rockets, but like...
Yeah.
I still think that LA Clippers,
you should do better.
You should call me. We can work something out.
All right, the Golden State Warriors, the champions at the moment, the reigning champions.
Yep.
Pays homage to the Golden State Bridge. Pays homage to San Francisco.
Great color scheme. I love the baby blue and gold.
I wish they would involve the Warrior somehow.
I know. Remember that Warrior logo that they used to have?
I do.
That was such a kick-ass logo.
And I feel like if they did have something that represented a Warrior in it, I feel like it could fall in the perfect category.
It could fall in the perfect high straight gas category.
But I think it's just right.
Yeah, it's just right. It's clean looking. Like, I actually like how the bridge looks. A little too much emptiness in this area. They could put a basketball there.
Yeah.
Or just something. Maybe a GS.
Yeah.
Maybe a W. Or, like I said, a basketball.
Yeah.
But it's just right.
It's just right.
It's just right. It's a clean look.
Yeah.
Pretty self-forward. You know exactly what you're looking at. It just represents the state more towards the name. I hope I didn't press the button again. I didn't, thank God. It's these side buttons on your mouse I keep accidentally pressing. But it's just right.
All right. Detroit Pistons.
What did their old logo look like? Because I think it's better than this one.
This is straight ass.
Straight ass? You're going towards straight ass, huh?
It's the basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's red and blue.
Oh!
White.
Oh my God! If it was that
That's
logo, if it was this logo, man. Oh my God!
That is a much better logo.
I think this one though, even though it's basically the same one, this is better.
That is better.
Their original logo, this one right here, before they went into the other one, that's better.
That is better. But that is just, it literally is just the name and a basketball.
The basketball looks funky.
It does. It's like it's a basketball with like an outer layer.
And the font is just bland.
It's not good.
No.
It is really not good.
No, I'll put
that's
it in.
ass.
Yeah, I'll put that in. That's ass because
it's,
their last logo, I would actually put not terrible, maybe even just right.
Yeah.
If it was the one before that, like in the 90s, holy shit. Right up there with the Raptors. Yeah. One of the best logos of all time.
Yep.
We need to do a list of and we should organize it. We should try to figure out somehow the best logos, best vintage logos of all time.
We'll
per league.
Like this.
We may do something like that again where we may come back around to sports where we'll do the best vintage logos of all time. Definitely. Like, they picked out the best vintage logo, or we pick out the best vintage logo, somehow put them on here, and do that for you guys. That would be fun.
We'll go ahead and rank them like that.
That would be a lot of fun. But moving back to the NBA, the Sacramento Kings, the only team in professional sports, besides minor league sports, to play in Sacramento, California.
I think that this is straight gas.
Yeah.
I think
it's not bad.
Crown is
the crown looks nice.
Perfectly. They have the name in there saying Kings,
and like half of the basketball on the bottom of it.
Basketball.
It's nice.
I think it represents everything it needs to.
And purple, and so I mean, we're just partial to purple. Purple's such a great color for any sports team. Really, they should utilize that more in other sports, especially baseball.
Yeah. Baseball.
But and green and gold too. Like, there's no teams that are green. Well, actually, no. There's the A's. There's the A's. Purple.
Colorado's the only team.
Colorado, they have some purple, but they mostly go with the black and the silver. Yeah. And purple is just an accent. But straight gas?
Straight gas.
Straight gas.
All right.
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Now, I do believe that their main logo, they just use the C with the sword through it.
I believe so.
And I will be judging off of this logo. I think that it's just right.
Yeah, it's just right. I actually do like it. It could be a straight gas.
It could be.
Honestly, if it was just a C in the sword, it would be straight gas.
Yes, if it was just the C in the sword, it would be straight gas. But I think the way it is right here, it is just right.
Yeah, I agree. It's two, and like the C in the sword, it looks so nice.
It does.
It looks kick ass. So I will agree. If it was just a C in the sword, we put it in the straight gas category. Yeah. But it's just right with this, kind of badge looking thing with the actual Cleveland Cavaliers, just in white. There's no trim or anything around it. Not the most extravagant font, but it's just right.
Now,
the Boston Celtics.
So honestly, in my opinion, I think this is the most easiest perfect on this entire list.
Yep. It's such a good freaking looking logo, man.
It's such a nice logo.
One of the like I said,
pays homage to everything it needs to.
Like the Bulls and the Knicks, not a whole lot of changes throughout its career, if any. But it's so nice looking. You got Boston Celtics around it with the green and white and the green trimmed basketball and with the eclectic holding a basketball twirling it in his shillelagh.
I just think that is. Put it
With his plaid.
Put it at the top of the list of perfect.
Oh my god! Yes, I will absolutely put it.
Because that is where it deserves to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because I literally think that it is that good.
It's one of the best logos of all time.
Yes, hands down.
By far.
Hands down.
Even though I can hate the absolute fuck out of the Celtics as a Knicks fan, they look so nice. Yeah, they look so nice. Such a nice logo. They look so nice.
All right.
The Philadelphia 76ers.
This is another not terrible for me.
I honestly would probably put this in just right.
Yeah.
Because I like the colors. I like the baby blue and the only red is the 7, which kind of gives it a nice little unique accent and uniqueness to it.
Yeah.
It's very unique with that one just 7. And it pays homage to obviously 776, the Declaration of Independence, and it's in the state of Philadelphia where this Declaration of Independence was signed.
Yeah.
And has a basketball in the middle with another basketball on top of the 7, which is nice.
And they have some stars at the bottom.
And some stars at the bottom.
Yeah, I think this is just right.
It's just right. It's a nice logo. I like it. It's a nice logo. It could even be straight gas for me. Yeah. But I would say just right I'm more comfortable with.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would absolutely think of that.
So
the Charlotte Hornets. Big Hornet with Charlotte Hornets and the stinger at the bottom.
I love this logo.
Same.
This is a perfect
you were kind of scaring me a little bit, giving me the straight face, going I don't know, but
this is a perfect logo.
Mm-hmm.
This is a perfect logo. I literally pays homage to the Hornet perfectly. The name being spread out across the body as it's spreading its wings. It almost looks like it's covering its bottom part of the wings and its bottom part of the body, but then it's stinger. Yeah. It shows the stinger. I love the colors.
I love their colors. They're purple, right?
Cyan
is that purple?
and purple, I believe.
Yeah, it's cyan and purple.
And
I just love those colors, man. That they're never used. Purple and cyan.
Whoever made this logo, props to you.
So
because you did it well.
But where does it fall? Straight perfect?
Perfect.
That's
my opinion.
If you want to get the modern times logos, with the Nuggets, those are nice logos. Yeah. And that is also a very nice logo as well. The Washington Wizards.
The DC people.
Mm-hmm. I actually don't hate this logo.
I don't hate it, but the Wizards. I wish that they would involve a wizard.
I do miss their old logo with the big wizard with the basketball. With the wizard hat and the basketball. That was so nice.
I feel like that would be a straight gas logo.
That would be straight gas, but this isn't... I wouldn't say it's a little bit of a downgrade, but not that much.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I think it's literally just the basketball. I don't think there's anything particular in the middle. There is a star in the middle to represent the wizard, with mystical stars or whatever. I guess it could
be a wand in the middle.
Yeah, I think that's what that might be in the middle. I think it's what that might be. But it's in the shape of a basketball, and it says Washington Wizards, and it's not just straight up a blue half frame down here.
Actually look like
it does look like a wand.
If that is meant to actually be a wand, it's just right. It's a just right logo.
Yeah, same. Same as the 76ers. I would say they are neck and neck with each other.
Yeah.
They would be right next to each other. Which one would you say is better than the other though?
76ers.
76ers, same.
In my opinion.
Same, but they're both good.
Yes.
Not downgrading the Wizards logo in general. It's a nice logo. I do like it. The Orlando Magic.
Once again, love the baby blue. I think it's not terrible, but I think it's just right though.
Yeah, they could make this look a little better.
Yeah, it's kind of bland.
Yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't really I don't look at that logo yeah, I don't really look at this logo and go that's a nice logo. I don't. Yeah. Not really. But if you if we actually want to critique it in a good way, I do like the font where it says Magic. It's interesting looking. I will say that's kind of the downgrade for me though, is that font because it's funky looking.
Yeah.
I do like the magical little swoosh at the end of the basketball with the stars and everything. The basketball is not just a bland
magical.
Yeah, and it's not a bland basketball. It's got the shadowing of the baby blue on the basketball and the silver, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Not terrible or just right?
I'd lean towards just right.
Okay, I'm the same as well. Just because, like, it's the saving grace of it is that basketball at the bottom with the swoosh and the
Quite
stars, making it magical. I will say, makes it into the just right category. The Miami Heat.
Once again, it's kind of hard to say that this isn't just right.
Mm-hmm.
It represents like being heat, right? Yep. It kind of looks like it's a scorching sun with like almost like a halo ring.
To me, it looks like it's going through the basketball rim. It's like it's melting on its way through the rim. Yeah. That's how I see it. It's melting because like see how it morphs into the fire at the end, and it's not that shape anymore. Yeah. You figured maybe the flame would just still be on the basketball, but it literally like almost like it's deflating and melting from the fire as it goes through the hoop. And then it has the nice font, the iconic Miami Heat font with the trail, the trail of flame at the end of the T.
Yep.
I'd say this is either straight gas. It's not lower than straight gas to me.
Straight gas then.
All right.
Okay. I think that's fair.
It's nice. Very very iconic logo, and I just it's like that's going back to what I said about the Magic. I look at this logo and go, that's a nice logo. Like I look at that and I have no problem if I had no choice to represent this logo, I would not be angry at all. I would absolutely represent the absolute fudge out of it.
Now the Atlanta Hawks.
So
I want to hear your opinion, and I'm gonna kind of lay my opinion down on the line.
What did their original logo look like?
It's not. I'm really not a fan of this logo.
Yeah,
I'm really not a fan of it.
I'm kind of the same.
I remember when their old logo was the hawk with the spread wings.
I think
it
so.
Had kind of like the legs.
Yeah. Literally gripping the basketball. That's a cool logo.
That's a good looking logo. I think that's a good looking logo. If it was that, I would go straight gas or just right.
Yeah, same.
But honestly,
I'd probably go straight gas.
I'm really low partial to this.
Same.
I'm really falling towards like.
It's not terrible to me.
It would be at the top end, but
yeah,
it is ass.
Yeah.
I think it would be at the top end of that's ass.
I would give it a not terrible. So
do you think it's a better logo than the Nets logo?
It's got a little. Well, I just like the red compared to just the black and white.
Okay, so then you think it's a better logo than the Pistons?
Yeah, it's a better logo than the Pistons.
What about the Clippers? Because I would say that would probably be at the low end of not terrible.
Honestly, I would say Clippers are better than the Hawks. But I'd honestly say this is better than OKC's.
Yeah, really, you think? All right, we'll go not terrible. We'll concede there.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
It could go in that's ass, but I can make an argument that it's better than these two logos.
Yeah, we're kind of getting
mostly this one. I would actually maybe say that the Nets could be a little better than this one. But like it's I don't know. I just never liked I don't know. I just never really liked the Thunder that much. But not much to absolutely say that it's the worst logo in the league. But I don't know. It's not terrible to me.
It's fair.
I don't really want to say it's ass because it's
it's
clean.
It's
the only thing it's working for is that it's nice and bright and red, and it has the hawk head, and it's clean. That's about it. That's the only good I can really say about it. But that makes me go, it's not.
Yeah.
That's what makes it not ass for me.
Yeah. All right.
To our final logo of the night, the Indiana Pacers.
I think this is another not terrible category.
Yeah, same.
It's
okay.
It's okay. But
it's very old-fashioned.
Yeah.
They kept the P with the basketball and like the zooming lines to represent it like being like passed. Pacers it's basically the name of of a runner.
Yep.
In a way, very interesting name for a sports team.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah, but that's
about it. I would say what makes it not terrible or not ass is that it's retro looking, and I like the retro-ness of the logo. But other than that, it's not just right.
Yeah.
They could upgrade it.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
they could make it a little better to make it into the just right category. But I will say, and I will agree, not terrible.
Well, folks, there you have it. The rank this segment of Gabagalooza. And with that, we're coming to the end here of our show.
Oh, yes. So, it is not exactly the time that we're looking for in this show, but hey, listen, we got all to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what's great about YouTube is that you can watch this again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And look at our results, because this is our second to final major logo result.
Let us know in the comments if you agree with this list.
Yes.
You know, let us know your you know, what's your hot take on this list right here.
What do you think deserves to be higher on this list in the just right, not terrible, or that's ass category?
What do you think deserves to be lower?
Out of all the straight gas and perfects, what do you think should be lower?
Well,
it's all open to interpretation.
Absolutely. Well, that's coming from the both of us here, but thank you all for coming and tuning in and sticking with us, you know, for our 2+ hours podcast here. You know, we really appreciate you sticking around. We appreciate everyone who's come by during the podcast and during the live stream. You know, we really appreciate you. You got anything else, man? Got anything else to say?
Not a whole lot. Just amped for next week already.
Yeah, and that's all we can really say is look forward to next week, and you know, just remember, you be